Hey, welcome to another edition of Kyle Meredith with. It's the interview series presented by WFPK and WFPK.org, Consequence, and the Consequence Podcast Network. Thanks for making your way here, for checking on the series. Of course, you know what to do. If you like what you see, what you hear, hit that subscribe button. I put out new interviews every single week, so it's a great way to keep up with your favorite artists, discover some new ones. Of course, you can grab me anywhere you get your podcast from as well. Spotify, Apple Podcast, NPR, WFPK.org, Consequence. YouTube for the video versions right here, or anywhere you get your podcast from, you can subscribe to Kyle Meredith with. And today I'm talking with Denise Richards, well, she went from Bond girl to Starship Troopers badass to reality TV icon. She's had one of Hollywood's wildest careers. Whether she was dodging alien bugs, steering up drama in Wild Things, or navigating the chaos of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Denise Richards has always brought a mix of glamour, confidence, and unpredictability. And she's back in a brand new show on Bravo called Denise Richards and Her Wild Things. Now, the first time Denise Richards opened up her family life for reality TV was a little bit more than 15 years ago. She was navigating a notoriously difficult marriage at the time, intense scrutiny and tabloid attention, all while raising two young girls. This time around, life is more complicated and unpredictable. And Richards and her family, which includes her daughter Sammy, Lola, and Eloise, and husband Aaron, show us what their famous, loving, and hilarious life is like. We get to talk about all of that. We also get to talk about Drop Dead Gorgeous and James Bond and a whole lot more. So let's get into it. Denise Richards and Her Wild Things, out now on Bravo. It's Kyle Meredith with Denise Richards. So we got the new show, Denise Richards and Her Wild Things. Um, I guess we start with what's like, why did you want to do it, right? Like, what's the version of you and your family that you want to put out into the world with this? Because it's funny, it's entertaining, it's got all the things we want.
I wouldn't say there's a version of me. I just think after I did Housewives, Alex Baskin approached me about doing a family reality show, and I asked the girls, and I thought, they were right away. They wanted to do it. They've lived in the shadow of their parents their whole life, and them now coming of age and coming into their own, it's an opportunity for them too to be able to be their own person and have people know them for who they are. And we just decided, just to do it. And we would have fun with it. And there's all different sides of us that people see, slice of life. And I'm a mom, like a lot of parents that deal with, siblings that have issues going on with each other, or stuff with, me still with parenting three girls. There's a lot of things that I think a lot of parents will be able to relate to with it too.
Yeah. To see how different your daughters are from each other. My sibling, I mean, me and my siblings were are worlds apart too. So what you're saying right now, I can already see, but it's so interesting, right? Because I'm a parent too, and when they just end up being so different from each other, you're like, how in the
Very.
world did this happen?
I know they've been total opposites since they were little. They were
Mhm.
very different from so early. And obviously now they're coming into their own and becoming adults that you really notice the differences even more so. But they're also similar more than they think they are. They don't believe me, but they are.
Sure, we'll get to see that too. But it is, I mentioned it was entertaining and everything, and you are a naturally funny person. You've had some
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you've had some, of course, great roles in the past. All the way back, Drop Dead Gorgeous, all of that. Does do you find that that comes from anywhere? Like, where do you get your comedy chops?
Probably my mom. My
Is that right?
mom was very funny. She was always like she just was really witty, and she just had, without trying to be. My mom didn't know how funny she was either. So I think I get a lot of it from her.
Yeah. Was that a route you thought about when you were getting into acting? Like, did you think like I can do comedy?
No, I didn't think I ever could. I would audition for sitcoms when I started out, and I'm like, I'm terrible at this. Sitcom is different though. I feel it's like I could, I can't do a sitcom.
Yeah.
But I like doing comedy. I loved doing, comedic roles. I think it's fun and it's nice and light on set.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, you got us laughing on this one. But it's also like even naming it, of course, when you name it and her wild things, like it feels like it just opens that door naturally if you want to drop in the nostalgia. And I say that because right off the
Mhm.
bat, of course, you got Tori on there. You call Patrick on the phone. Like how much of that, maybe that's just part of your natural life. Maybe, the class of, you're all still tight with, but when you're
Yeah.
doing a show like this, I mean, how much do you want to open that door and just let the past in?
Well, it's a show about our life, and these people are in my life. Patrick Muldoon's one of my best friends. We've been friends since I was a teenager, and we're very close. He's close to my husband. Pat and I have nicknames for each other since Starship Troopers. We all had nicknames. We call each other Sweet Babe. My husband and he even call each other that. So I know it's silly and stupid, but that's just how we all talk to each other. But, when I'm friends with people, and it's about our life, I want to film with them.
Yeah. Are you the type of person that's usually friends with people you've dated with the exes, anything like that?
I am friendly with almost all of my exes. I'm not like close where I talk on the phone with them all the time. Like Pat and I could probably we talk at least 3 times a week on the phone. And we see each other for, dinners and lunches and hang out with my husband too, or separately, whatever. And sometimes they've gone out to dinner with each other. But I would say there's only one ex that I don't like. And although if I ran into this person, I would say hello. But for the most part, I'm friendly with them all.
Yeah. I'm told that's not normal because I'm friends with almost all of my exes that I can think of and everything. And I'm told by my wife very often, it's like, that's not a normal thing. That's
I am told it's not normal either, but not from my husband. Thank God he's so supportive of my relationship with, especially Pat, I would say is the most because we're very close. He's, like I said, one of my best friends. But my daughters were like, it doesn't Aaron get jealous of your, and I'm like, no, he's like my brother. So, I think some people they might think it's a little odd, but you get
I get it.
it.
I get it. But of
Yeah.
course, as we see in those first two episodes, especially like your daughters are even going through that whole with the
Yes.
exes and the jealousy thing. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's right there for them. Like they can take that choice if they want to. It doesn't have to be
Exactly.
bad.
And, I'm sure too with your exes, I don't know what the situations ever were, but, there is a period when you do break up where it probably wasn't the greatest. And then you come back together if you guys are meant to be friends or, so.
Yeah, no, it's true. I don't know. It seems easier. It seems easier to be friends with them than not, I guess is what it
Mhm.
comes down to, you know.
Definitely.
Yeah. Love hearing, of course, anytime you reference any of your your iconic roles on the show too. I did want to ask, all the Bond stuff going out there right now. You are the former Bond girl. Do you have any thoughts on the next one? It seems like everybody's got at least got a little bit of opinion.
I don't actually. I
Nothing.
have no idea. I haven't thought about it.
Yeah.
I should. I should have thought of this, but I don't know. It's hard shoes to fill, but there are some amazing actors out there. But I haven't thought about it.
So when you recently, what was the movie? I'm looking over here. Angels Fallen, Warriors of Peace. Like when you're doing that, like, is there any instance where you're like, oh yeah, I'm tapping into the whole Bond thing just from the other side of the scripts.
Yeah, there's I feel like I've done almost every genre now, horror films, comedy, and action, and it's and obviously Bond. So it's yeah, it's definitely some similarities with certain roles, and it's fun to play stuff like that too and do
Yeah.
all different kinds of things.
I mean, I guess when you have a career, like inevitably you're going to do something that if you get the chance to call back on it.
Yeah, no, and I feel I'm so grateful and so blessed that I'm still working because when I was starting out, it was like, oh, once you hit 40, you're once you're done. So it's nice to know that, I feel very grateful that I'm still working.
Yeah. Do you have any roles? Some actors have roles that, that, oh, I wish I could return to that one at least one more. Like, do you have that one back there?
Um, I would love to do Drop Dead Gorgeous, where my character jumped off that float, so she's still here, and it's our daughters
Uh-huh.
competing.
But I mean, of all your movies, maybe that's the one, right? Because that's the one that feels like, given what it was saying in the time, to bring that into the 2020s. I mean,
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
yeah, we just
I
have
think
to revive
so.
you. And that's not
We're
hard, by the way.
reviving.
Anything's possible in movie. You can write it anyway, right?
Exactly, right? I always said on that float, when she smelled that gasoline, that girl would have jumped off. She wouldn't have stayed on there. So I think that we could bring her back, and I think it would be fun to have, Kirsten Dunst see us all as moms, and we have our daughters that are competing. I think it would
Hmm.
be fun.
You have the power. Please make it happen. A lot of us would
I'm
really
gonna
love
work
this.
on it.
Yeah. In the meantime, of course, we got this one, Denise Richards and her Wild Things. It's really fun for you all to open the door to all of us to see inside
Thank you.
all of this entertainment, wackiness, and everything else that comes along with it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. It's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for doing this today.
Oh, thank you. It was
All
a
right.
pleasure talking to you too. Nice to
Cool.
meet you.
And thanks to my guest. Also, thanks to you for checking out the episode in the series. Before you get out of here, hit that subscribe button. Again, you get 3 brand new interviews every single week. New one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at right here on YouTube, or of course anywhere in podcast land, including iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podchaser, NPR, or WFPK.org as well. A great way to keep up with your favorite artists and discover new ones as well. Then after that, actually head over to WFPK.org. That's where I do a show Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. It's an hour full of song premieres, music news, anniversary spins, bonus interviews, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern at WFPK.org. Consequence has your music and film news. You can also find me on the social media spots, Facebook, Instagram, mostly on Twitter. All 3 of them, the address is at Kyle Meredith. Do hope you like and follow along. That does it for another edition. I'm Kyle Meredith. I'll see you next time.